Welcome to Woomates, a podcast where we talk openly and honestly about the emotional realities of motherhood. We're your hosts, twin sisters Lela and Lily. So this episode we wanted to do first because it's something that we talk a lot about, is how you don't really expect to feel lonely when you have a baby, and it should be a happy time, and everyone says that, but a lot of people do feel really lonely because it's a really big change. So I thought we could just start by asking Lily about her experience becoming a mom and what that whole fiasco was like for her. So wherever you want to start, what was it like for you when you first became a mom in the context of loneliness and connection with other people and that kind of thing?
Well, I will start by saying that I didn't expect to feel like it would be so hard because I didn't see other people being a mom around me. So I think that was a big thing, was like, out of our whole friend group, I was the first one to have a kid.
And her family.
And our family. That was close. Like, I didn't have any close friends with kids. So I feel like just being on Instagram all the time and seeing posts, there was some posts that were like, oh, being a mom is hard, but I was like, that's not gonna be me. I feel like it's gonna be fun, but it was very difficult because it was such a sudden change, and I feel like I wasn't really prepared for, like, I think the big thing is just not having other kids around and other babies. So maybe it was more like that I didn't see it, like I didn't experience. So it was like, wow, I can't go anywhere. I can't plan things. I can't sleep. I can't eat what I want. I can't just sit and eat and watch TV. I have to also be breastfeeding or trying to get a baby to sleep. Like, I feel like our whole rhythm changed, and I feel like I really rely on routines and rhythms and me time and being a perfectionist. So it's just
all of that was
added up.
Shattered.
Yes.
I have a question. Do you think that you would have felt different if you were more prepared, whatever that means for you? Like, if you saw other people experiencing it? Because I'm just thinking about for my future. I was just talking about this with my husband today. I was like, I feel like seeing all all our friends having kids.
They're basically our kids.
All our friends having kids makes us feel more prepared because we're having conversations with them about what they're doing, what they're struggling with, and then we can think about and talk about what we would do in that situation. So
yeah,
I can see how it'll be very challenging if there was no context for that. So how do you think it would have been different for you if you knew or were surrounded more by people and were having these conversations, or you were like, I know I'm going to feel lonely. I know that this is going to be a really hard, a really drastic shift in my routine and all of that. Even if you know it, but you don't really see it.
Yeah. I feel like it would have always been hard for me because I'm a perfectionist, and I was just a lot of it was anxiety about if I'm doing things right, but I think, or if she's getting enough food or whatever, but I think that I would have been more accepting of it. That I shouldn't have, it's okay to feel that way. I felt like I'm doing something wrong, that I'm feeling bad about this. And I think that having people to talk to that also experience that would have been helpful. Like friends that just had a baby. But that's a good question, because I do think I would have felt the same, but I think I would have been more accepting. I just saw this post that I keep thinking about on some social media. And it was don't expect to do anything. Just pick a spot with your new baby and don't expect to leave that spot for weeks. Just enjoy it. And I was I feel like I was expecting to be able to do stuff. So I think that I didn't have the mindset of just I'm accepting that I can't go out to dinner or go to parties people are inviting me to while I'm trying to get my crying baby to sleep in tears, just being I can't do anything anymore. And I feel I just felt like it was never going to end. So I think if I had other people around, just seeing, oh, look where they're at now. They can do all this stuff now.
Yeah, there
Or-
would be at least a light
Yeah,
at the
I
end
think
of the
that-
tunnel. Yeah.
I think that I had my mom, which was very great because she is a mom and she has 4 kids. So I think that she was the one person that I was like reaching out to for that.
Are you crying because you love mom?
I love her. I was like, you understand this? Help. She
Yeah.
was like, it was 30 years ago, but I do understand.
That leads me to my next question is, what do you think would have been the most helpful, since this episode's about loneliness, what do you think would have been the most helpful thing for you to feel less lonely? Like, what do you think you needed looking back?
You ask such good therapist questions.
That's why I'm here.
I don't know. I feel like I did get a lot of helpful things. Like, a lot of people brought me meals and just came to visit. Like, I know a lot of people don't want visitors when they first have a baby, but I was like craving human interaction. So anytime someone brought me a meal, I was like, can you stay for a little bit? Let's hang out. Or just like having people over all the time was helpful, and just having other people, like sharing my baby with other people and having people help me with chores. That was really helpful. So I can't think of something that would have helped more. I think that did help.
Like, it was
A
already,
lot.
those things were already happening,
Yeah.
but it was just something you were going through.
Yes.
And even if it's something you couldn't change, though, like if other people had babies, or if, do you know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
would have been helpful if I had a mom friend
Yeah.
that,
I think, yeah, you're right. I think that would have helped a lot, is having a mom friend. And also, I feel like I need to add that I was diagnosed with postpartum anxiety, and my therapist, like, what's that word? She didn't like diagnose me, but she was like, I think you might have postpartum OCD. So I was like so anxious about everything, and I still am, but I think that the older that Romy gets, then the more I'm like, I don't have to be so worried about things. But I feel like it would have eased my anxiety just to have like someone be like, here's how I did it. Because I was like, what do I do? And I was like looking to like Reddit and like all like just online of like, what did you do in this situation? And I feel like if I had a person instead of a million different like scenarios, that it would have helped me to be like, okay, I trust you.
yeah,
So
you would have like
maybe,
a source that wasn't
yeah,
just
instead
a
of
million
like a million sources.
strangers. And there was something that you said during that time that I still think about. You were like, I feel like I'm looking everywhere, but I feel like I'm looking for answers everywhere but myself, which I thought was very profound, because I feel like in this day and age, it's very easy to do that and not like feel intuitively
Yeah.
what your child needs and what you need. Like, you're kind of just like, which is good to look for other opinions and stuff to like get information, but you also need to be checking in with you and like,
Yeah.
what do I think is best? Because for my child, everyone's different with that.
Yes. I remember the exact moment I thought that too. Now that you brought it up, I forgot about that. But I remember sitting and trying to get Romy to sleep in the rocking chair, and I forgot my phone. So I was like, I can't look anything up. I was like sitting with my thoughts and sitting with my feelings, and I was like, why do I feel like I need to be looking something up right now? Like, why can't I just trust that like what I'm doing is the right thing? Like, I want to sit here with her, and like, why do I feel like I need to do something different?
Yeah. Well, I know what the research says about this because I did research, and it's about loneliness and like what you need, or what a lot of moms feel like they need to feel less lonely. So do you want to go into that?
Yes.
I looked at a few studies. One of them was like an article that was just about a study. So we'll link all these if you want to look for them yourself, if you want to look through them yourself, and if you don't trust what I'm saying. So first, we'll just start with some statistics. A new national survey conducted by the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center in 2024 said that about 2/3 or 66% of parents felt that the demands of parenthood sometimes or frequently felt isolating and lonely. 66% of people said that parenting was lonely and isolating. About 62% feel burned out by their responsibilities as a parent. Nearly 2 in 5, or 38%, feel they have no one to support them in their parenting role. And nearly 4 in 5, or 79%, would value a way to connect with other parents outside of work and home. 79% of parents want to connect more with other parents. And that was like the theme that I found in all these research articles, is like the one thing that helps parents the most feel less lonely is to talk to other moms about their experience and to talk about like just to be with somebody that understands, which is why you probably felt a little emotional talking about mom, because she was like the one person in your circle that like got it.
Yes.
And I just thought that was interesting because that came up in like the other studies I looked at. It was like just being around other like support groups even, or that was kind of like the number one thing.
I just scheduled this Instagram post about this.
Oh.
It was, I have to go to it because I forgot what it said, but it was saying like, oh, here it is. That research says that social support buffers postpartum distress, which is what you just read. But lived experience says that support often disappears after the first few weeks. I feel like a lot of people in the first few weeks get a lot of visitors and support, and then like after that, it kind of fizzles out. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's when a lot of people start feeling like lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes
That's
sense.
Interesting. Sorry, my husband is texting me that I forgot to leave the car seat to him, so he's
stuck. He's trapped
and he
in the
has to
house.
go. He has to go meet someone.
Oh no! What time's he leaving?
Probably 3:45.
We'll be done by then.
All right. Just a quick detour. I had to process that. And another thing that I think about that, well, I guess this is kind of on the same topic, but I feel like your hormones also shift a lot. And it's like the really biggest thing that happens in your body, and you are sleep deprived and all this stuff. And I feel like in America, at least, or in the West culture, you're just expected to be okay and go back to work in 3 months or less, or not even have any maternity leave. And then seeing that, you're kind of feeling like, well, I should be ready to go back. Like, why do I feel like this? Why do I not feel ready? Or why do I feel lonely and like still healing? It's like literally you are, but you're seeing all the other ways that like moms just return back to work, and we don't really like leave space for that. And in other countries, like in Japan, I think they have I don't know, it was somewhere in Asia, they had like a postpartum clinic, and you just stay there for weeks and they just take care of you. So I feel like if you see that living there, you're like, oh, I can give myself time to rest and time and space to heal like I'm supposed to. But here it's like I'm not supposed to be having time to rest and heal, because
the way
that's
it's
not
set
how
up,
the system is set up.
Yeah, the way that it's set up makes us feel like it's
I feel like that's
bad.
just another isolating perspective. It's like I should be ready to move on. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, I want to go back to my life. Like, is that ever going to happen? Not really. But yes, kind of.
Yeah,
But
just in a different way.
yeah.
I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but just popped in my head. I'm like, I just made a connection between all the research coming out about trauma, and what helps heal that is connection with other people and like attunement with other people. And I feel like it is kind of traumatic to have a child and like go through birth.
Especially if
and
you have like a really traumatic birth and then you have this huge change in your life. It's like double trauma.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I wonder if that's part of it. It's just, you went through this huge thing, and now like connecting with other people and being around other people can be really healing. Just like for your nervous system and for, I guess, feeling normal even. So just something that popped in my head. Also, another study I looked at listed some of the root causes of maternal loneliness, and those were, you want to hear? Are you interested in the root causes of maternal loneliness?
I am very interested in the root causes.
According to this study, they were a lack of recognition for the difficulties of being a mother, a lack of empathy from relations, people not understanding or empathizing with where you are, childcare burden, deficient social networks, whatever deficient means. I don't really know what they mean by that. That could mean multiple different things. Longing for friendships based on shared experience, and discrepancies between expectations and the realities of motherhood.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. And these other studies I looked at were all before 2020. And it said there was something that said that it increased after 2020, like loneliness levels, as you can figure.
Because
increased.
probably a lot of that has to do with working from home.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a good thing, but also it's harder to like be social. So I feel like if you're a mom working from home and you couldn't have childcare, how do you do that? And also if you did have childcare, it's still like isolating experience.
Yeah.
So
there's another interesting thing. Here it is. It's called Loneliness in Pregnant and Postpartum People and Parents of Children Aged 5 Years or Younger. A scoping review. Okay, that's what I've been talking about. There's this one part that said the numbers showed that earlier research by the same team found that fathers tend to feel lonelier during pregnancy, and mothers' loneliness tends to increase after childbirth.
I was just going to bring up the father side. That's kind of weird that you brought that up.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
I wonder why during pregnancy. Does it say?
It didn't really explain why. It just said that's what they did surveys. I think that's what the numbers were.
I feel like I remember a dad that I know explaining a little bit to me that might be relevant. He was saying how the whole pregnancy, it's like the mom and the kid have a bond. It's like they feel like they're kind of just a third person sometimes.
Yeah.
And then after the baby's born, even, I feel like.
But this said before pregnancy, fathers are more lonely.
Oh, I thought you meant during pregnancy. I was like, wait, why
and
during
moms
pregnancy?
Feel more lonely after.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Does it? Because I don't really get. I want to understand why. I'm trying to think of why that would be. If you know a father that was lonely during, please explain.
Wait, can you say that again? You're saying the father feels lonely before they get pregnant, before
compared
the mom.
to the mom. Fathers were more lonely while the mom was pregnant. And then mothers were more lonely after they gave birth. I might need to look into this more.
Maybe having a kid makes dads feel like more of a part of a community.
Yeah.
Like
they have their little
tribe.
They're like,
oh, I can talk to other dads about these
and
things.
Something I see a lot. Interesting. Don't take my word for it on this, but something I keep seeing a lot too is like how moms find connection in their friends a lot more. Not more, but like they feel fulfilled more in their girlfriend connections. And that can be an outlet for them. And men feel more fulfilled in their connection with their partner. Oh. So I wonder if it's like, if that's even real. I just keep seeing things about that, but I don't know how accurate that is.
Speculating.
This is a speculation.
It's interesting to think about. I just saw this post that is driving me crazy that I can't think of what it was, but it was something about men loneliness versus women loneliness at different times in their lives or something. I don't know. That would be interesting to look into. I'm going to find it and maybe I'll...
Okay. Yes. Bring it back next time. There's something else I was going to say that was interesting. There's a lot. I put way too much information on here. Don't think we have time to go through all this. I'll just say some random interesting things. Feeding choices can be isolating. Breastfeeding often limited mothers' ability to socialize. Came with unexpected physical and emotional challenges. Yes. Feeling misunderstood by partners, inadequate and alone. That's a big burden because you're like, I am the only source of food. Especially when the reality didn't match the this should be easy narrative. Judgment fuels loneliness. Both breastfeeding and bottle feeding triggered loneliness when mothers felt judged, unsupported, or lacked safe spaces to talk honestly, while connection with other moms who had struggled was one of the strongest buffers, as we were talking about. And Loneliness was positively correlated with postpartum depression. Yeah, there's just a very high correlation, as you would imagine, postpartum depression and loneliness. Support groups were helpful with postpartum depression and loneliness. And other things that would be helpful, as we were talking about before, is just like, it sounds like validation and empathy from the people closest to you, like partners, friends, family, non-judgment. And even if you don't understand, you can still be there and present. What else was interesting? Oh, the study talked a lot about how loneliness levels were a lot higher when pregnant people and new parents were experiencing additional hardships during the transition, like they're immigrants or refugees or parents who identify as gender variant or male gestational parent, or parents with postpartum depression, or if they had a kid with a disability or anything that has an additional layer of challenge.
Yeah.
Loneliness levels increased a lot. So there you go. Some interesting, I have a lot more, but we'll just stop there.
I see that. That is a long
I was like, I don't have enough. And now I'm like, this is a little.
But that's
a lot.
I feel like that's good to have a lot of information about that. It's just validating, I feel like, to see that it's not like it's a good thing, but it's normal. Like a lot of, and it's validating, like, oh, that's not something I shouldn't be feeling. Anyways, that was my personal experience because I often feel that I shouldn't be feeling a certain way. So
that was just that was already there. It's just exacerbated during this.
A lot of things are exacerbated.
The perfectionism was already there. The anxiety.
Back to America. I was thinking about, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry, we're going on to America.
But yes, it did exacerbate a lot of things that I already felt. Yeah. Like, we leveled up anxiety to OCD. It's like, leveled up! Everything is on high alert. But another thing about America that is isolating is that we don't really value kids, I feel like, overall. Like, there's a lot of places that are like, oh, here's a coffee shop and also a playground that are popping up, which I feel like is really awesome. And it shows that maybe we are moving towards that. But I feel like a lot of people are just annoyed by kids.
Yeah.
Just based on my observations. And then I had a coworker or a friend, I can't remember who it was. They went to Indonesia with their baby. And they're talking about how everyone there just like hold your baby for you. They'll like help you with the baby. Like the servers will help with your baby while you're eating. Like they'll hold the baby while you eat. Just things like that. I'm like, I can never imagine that happening here. They're just like, that's your baby and your problem. But I also feel like a lot of people don't like other people holding their babies. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just interesting.
There's also very much a culture here of individualism. We live in a very individualistic culture, so people are just
for sure.
Yeah, I can see how that would contribute to feeling lonely. When other cultures are very like everyone takes care of everyone, and they might be living with their families or living with their parents. And here we look down on that.
That's why it's important to find your village of people that will do that for you.
And so let's talk now about where you're at with the loneliness and how you've been feeling lately.
Well, as you know, our friend group has spawned 5 children in 2025. Just 5 kids have appeared, 0 to 5. So, like, within months of each other. That has been very nice for me to be able to talk about being a mom with like my immediate close friends, and I feel great now. I love being a toddler mom. I feel like the newborn stage was very hard for me just because it's like you can't really have a schedule, you can't really have a plan, and you kind of just have to go with the flow. So I feel like the second time around, if/when that happens, now that I know that, I'll be more prepared. I will be prepared to not be prepared.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. Just be prepared to not know what's going on.
I like being a toddler mom, and it feels less lonely because I can do more stuff because we have a schedule. So I feel like I can go hang out with people, or like Romy is like interacting with me. Another thing about having a newborn baby is like they can't really interact with you. They're just like crying. And like they don't really tell you things. They only tell you by crying, which feels lonely because it's like I can't like
You're like, I'm the
I can't
only one
express
that can...
things to you, and you can't really express things to me in the way that I want. So it's like potato mode. You're just like if you're just with a baby all day, it's like you're with another human being, but doesn't feel like connecting on the level that you need sometimes. So having a toddler is like fun because to me, I know a lot of people prefer the newborn stage, which is interesting. We should look into that. Like, what personality types enjoy the newborn stage versus the toddler stage? Because
Or what does it...
when
What's
people
different
say
about
that they
that
were
for
like,
them?
oh, I just want another baby because I want to be in the newborn bubble. I'm like, what? I do not want to do that. You want to be in the newborn bubble? But I kind of understand. I feel like it is based on your environment and your personality. Like, I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, now that I have watched 5 babies being born, 6, including you, I feel way more prepared than I...
with triplets.
Oh, yes. Our friend had
That's
triplets.
9 babies.
So within the past 2
But she lives
years.
far away.
I feel like I'm in a totally different place than I was before all the babies were born about having a baby, in a good way. Like I feel
You have a community, and you have the like knowledge,
yes,
the lived experience,
and
secondhand lived experience.
I'm going to practice what you said and just accept that I'm not going to be able to do anything in the first.
Which sounds great, but when you're in that, you're like, I can't do anything. But now I kind of am. Sometimes I'm like, I miss just not running around.
Sitting down.
I miss sitting.
Yeah.
But
well, I always say this to clients too that have kids. It's like there's constant stage changes. It's like you're constantly
there's always
adjusting to a new...
So if something's
stage.
stressing you out, you just be like, you know
Yeah.
what, just wait to the next stage. We'll see what that has in store for us.
Some people like the newborn stage and hate the teenage stage. Some people like the toddler stage and hate the newborn stage. Like everyone's so different and like what works for them and what their preferences are. So if you're hating the stage you're in right now, just know that maybe that's just not
Aligned to your,
it's not aligned to who you are and like what your values are and what's comes easy to you, what's challenging to you. Like everyone's just so different.
But I feel like when you can accept that, it's easier to accept that stage because it's like you can't get out of it, but you also can't just like yell at your kid all the time. So it's like you just have to find a way to tell yourself it's not forever, and that definitely helps me. When, especially during sleep regressions and stuff, I'm just like, this is only going to be a couple weeks and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. I have one more thing to say, and I did not realize I put this in here, but it explains the thing about dads.
We want to explain the thing about dads.
It says, it's not just moms who feel the isolation hangover. Research shows that many dads also struggle with loneliness and stress after a baby. Well, this is after a baby comes. That doesn't... But it's still interesting. After a baby comes, partly because support systems, language, and even healthcare tends to focus on moms more than dads. So maybe also during pregnancy, it's like there is a lot of focus on the mom, and you're going to the appointments, and people are always checking on like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? I think it's important to include dads in that.
Yeah, I agree.
Or the other partner.
Yeah,
because they have a lot of feelings about it too, I'm sure.
And there's definitely a postpartum depression with the other.
We should
like,
do an episode on that.
We should do
on
that.
Like
I know our podcast is like
and the
targeted
other
towards motherhood, but it's like really about, I don't know, because they're obviously the mom gives birth, but there's also different types of couples and all sorts of types of like nuances that go into being a parent.
Yes.
But yeah, we should do an episode on fatherhood, like postpartum, because that's a thing.
I also want to throw this in there. Sorry, another thing. It was something about male gestational pregnancy. Like if you're pregnant but you identify as male, that kind of falls in the category of like adding an extra layer of challenge because society views you very different, and it's way more disconnecting and way more lonely. So,
Yeah.
and if you're in a same-sex relationship, that can be way more isolating. There is some research on that too. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting to throw in there.
Should do an episode on those. Everyone experiences change when you have a baby, but depending on your situation, it could be a very different type of change.
And different types of reactions from the people around you.
Well, we should share before we close some ideas if you are feeling lonely or you're in a phase where you feel depressed or anxious about being a parent. Some things that helped me was doing novel things. Like, I still do that. Like, I'm going to go to the coffee shop today and get a little treat and just go to the park with my baby.
Like breaking out of the
Just break out of your
tedious routine of
your four walls of darkness. And other things that could help is just having a weekly rhythm. Like on Tuesdays, I go to visit my mom, or something to look forward to. Or like Tuesdays, we go to the library, story time or something. Or just asking for help, like texting someone, being like, "Can you come over and hang out with me?" Or therapy. Yep, that helped me a lot. I started therapy when I was like 6 weeks after I had Romy, and that was very helpful. Sometimes medication, which also is what I tried. And sending like voice memos to friends, being outside, lowering expectations, which I think would have helped me. And learning to self-regulate is something that helped me too. It's something my therapist taught me, is like self-regulation techniques. So look those up or ask your handy dandy therapist. That's why they're there.
pocket therapist.
That's what Lela is
And
to
Lily
me.
got me
She's
this
my
candle.
pocket therapist.
It
You're
says,
using that candle.
Thank you
How
for being my
perfect.
unpaid therapist.
That is a perfect
So how appropriate.
candle for right now.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm paid in love and having a little niece that I'm obsessed with. I like those. And also, I think I'm going to find and link like mom support groups and resources like that for you to look into if you're interested. That did seem, according to the research, that was something that's helpful.
And that was also helpful. I forgot to put that in the list, but I went to like a breastfeeding support group, and then I found this free, I think you sent it to me. It was like free groups online for moms, but they had all sorts of stuff. It was like, there was like eating disorder groups and grieving groups. There was like a whole ton of stuff. I don't remember what that website is, but maybe we could find it and link that too.
Yes. We'll link some resources if you're going through it.
Yeah.
So,
also story time helped me
and
a lot.
Yeah, because you're even just like being in a room with other moms. I feel like that would be
Exactly.
nice, refreshing. Also, this episode made me think about an idea down the road. So if you're watching this down the road, maybe we've done this already, is to start like our own little mom circle group thing and just maybe do some scheduled little live streams or meetings or something.
Yeah.
Just to chat. So look for that if you're watching later.
Okay, well, that was a good conversation, and I hope that it helped you and made you feel a little bit less alone in your journey wherever you are, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening and or watching.
Thanks. Bye.